a warning to the American people that the government is trying to control us through the brain power of celebrities. So just be aware the next time you see a famous celebrity going off the deep end or the newest drama publicized on TMZ, try to look at what's going on at our nation's capital. Read between the lines.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we will be diving deep into the world of celebrity conspiracy theories. The individual I have with me today asked me to protect their identity. I will be disguising their face and their voice to prevent any threats from other individuals or from the government. One of the government's best kept secrets is the celebrity microchip. The government uses these celebrity microchips to mind control popular influencers, distract the nation from what's really going on at Washington, D.C.
What's really going on in Washington, D.C., we don't know exactly what they want. The celebrity microchip is a chip that's inserted inside a celebrity's brain, right into the frontal lobe where decision making happens. This way the government controls what the celebrities do, when they do it, and how they do it. Well, the frontal lobe is where the decision making happens. That way the government puts a chip in there, it takes over that area of the brain, and then the celebrities no longer can make decisions for themselves. The government's gotta be smart about it. They gotta pick the celebrities that don't have enough brain cells to fight against the chip, and they gotta be people that Americans care about. Pop stars like Britney Spears or Miley Cyrus, or TV hosts like Wendy Williams. Those kind of celebrities are going to be the ones that people pay attention to, but can't fight back at their own.
How the chip works is that it overpowers the synapses of the brain. Synapses are the connecting points between your brain cells, and your brain cells communicate with one another across them. Those individuals with stronger synapses would be able to fight against the control of the microchip.
Well, the government's going to pick somebody that can't think for themselves, which is most people in Hollywood. So Britney Spears obviously is someone with a chip in her brain because of her connection with George W. Bush. She is a professional thirst trap. What that is, I'll tell you. A professional thirst trap is someone the government takes over, inserts the chip, and uses as a puppet so the Americans don't pay attention to what's happening on the Hill. Every time Britney Spears did something crazy, such as shaving her head, swinging at the paparazzi, something was going on.
Consider this. Whenever the Bush administration had bad publicity, Britney would have a conveniently timed meltdown, placing the pop star at the top of CNN's news crawl and steering eyes away from Bush's newest blunder. Dating back to January of 2004, a week before the federal trial of United States versus Libby, Britney Spears marries childhood friend Jason Alexander in Vegas, only for the marriage to be annulled 55 hours later. And this is what she had to say about why she did it.
I really wanted to see what it was like to be married. I wanted to do something wild and crazy, and I wanted to get married.
Could it be just a coincidence? But then you start to notice a pattern, because in April of 2006, when Bush's approval ratings were at an all-time low and don't have any sign of improving, Britney is seen driving with an infant in her lap. At this time, it was the start of her downward spiral, leading up to February of 2007, the same night that Bush announces the reformation of Al-Qaeda. Britney sneaks out of rehab, shaves her head, and attacks paparazzi with an umbrella. And with many people against the war in Iraq, Britney continues to publicly support George W. Bush.
Honestly, I think we should just trust our president in every decision that he makes, and we should just support that.
Do you trust this president?
Yes, I do.
All this craziness surrounding Britney Spears only occurred while Bush was in office.
Coincidence? I think not. Britney Spears is just a puppet of George W. Bush, distracting the Americans from what's really going on behind the scenes.
Now that Bush isn't in office, does that chip still affect her? Is it still controlling her? Like, what is going on there?
Well, I have a question for you. Is Britney Spears relevant anymore?
I guess not.
Coincidence? I think not. Britney Spears no longer is relevant because Bush disabled her chip and now she's living her happy, healthy life with her children. These puppeteers use the celebrities when they need them and then toss them out like they're trash when they're done. Another famous celebrity that seems to not stay out of the media is Miley Cyrus. She goes in and out right at the perfect times convenient for the government. So let's give an example. Wrecking Ball comes out 2013. Guess what was going on? Our healthcare crisis. Miley Cyrus also starts dancing in weird outfits on stage, also during the time when the government doesn't want us to see things. What those things are, they don't want us to know.
I'm sorry, you have to. I could not hold it in. What those things are, I don't know.
So Miley Cyrus also seems to go in and out, in and out. Do you want to ask why?
Why?
Her chip malfunctions every 4 years. Convenient. After 4 years, the chip kind of gets burnt out. Obviously, these celebrities have a lot going on in their life. So 4 years, gets burned out, gets a new one put in.
4 years almost interlocks with the term of a presidency.
Coincidence? I think not. Some celebrities stay in the media for years, while others are only used for the 4-year term of a president. It just depends. Miley Cyrus seems to stay relevant. Don't know why. She does.
Amanda Bynes is another pop star that seemed to spike interest in the media from her public outbursts. Being in the spotlight from a very young age, Amanda Bynes never had much privacy growing up. But around the age of 27, Amanda begins dramatically altering her appearance and acting out, as though she had been reprogrammed to do so. She was charged with multiple counts of hit and runs, driving under the influence, and arrested on drug charges. All in all, this is disturbing because her behavior is completely different from the Amanda Bynes we all knew. Just take a look at this interview Amanda did a few years before her meltdown, explaining why she isn't troubled.
And I just have my eye on the prize, which for me is a long career, and I don't want to blow what I've worked so hard to achieve.
So what was it that caused the dramatic change in the ex-Nickelodeon star? Why is it that Amanda Bynes has joined the ranks of Britney Spears, Paris Hilton, and Lindsay Lohan with her majorly public meltdown? Well, Amanda answers that question for us through the best way she knows how. Twitter. In a series of unhinged tweets, Amanda accused her father of verbally, physically, and sexually abusing her. But then shortly after, she tweeted this: "My dad never did any of those things. The microchip in my brain made me say those things, but he's the one that ordered them to microchip me." But everyone chalked that up to be part of her mental illness. But is it because of a mental illness, or was that the government's excuse to cover up this little slip-up?
Coincidence? I think not. If you recall at the beginning of the video, I had mentioned about how most celebrities get chosen because they aren't strong enough to fight against the chip. Amanda Bynes is one that is strong enough to fight against the chip. She used her brain power to stop control of the microchip and speak out. She's one of the rare cases where she was strong enough to overcome the programming that has taken over her mind. And she knows once the government knows that she knows, they have to cut her loose. Therefore, she's no longer relevant because she's no longer microchipped.
You mentioned many other celebrities, one of which was Wendy Williams.
There's a video that happened in 2017. You can see Wendy Williams fainting, and she's dressed in the Statue of Liberty.
It's time for our How You Doing Halloween costume contest. We do it every year. It's always a lot of fun. Let's get started. Our first caress.
So she faints and she goes like this to her head, obviously pointing to the pain that she's experiencing from her microchip malfunctioning right when the government wants her to.
When questioned about it, Wendy claimed that she was just dehydrated.
Apparently I was dehydrated, according to the paramedics, and instead of drinking regular water, I had electrolyte drinks. And then, I went to my own doctors, and I'm fine.
And when people asked, why were you touching your head like it hurt, she said this.
So for people watching, when they saw me, put my hand up, it's because I'm trying to make sure my crown is there.
But most people weren't convinced, saying it looks staged because her eyes never closed, which is what happens when someone passes out. So what's the real reason behind this fake fainting?
You know what happened that day?
I don't really remember any other major events surrounding the fainting of Wendy Williams.
Coincidence? I think not. Exactly what the government wanted, because on that day, right when Wendy Williams fainted, was a shooting in Manhattan. It was a terrorist attack. But guess what was trending on Twitter instead of the terrorist attack? Wendy Williams fainting. There is one more celebrity that's always in the public's eye that I have not mentioned yet, and that is the infamous Kanye West. Kanye is obviously part of the higher power. Well, if you remember, Britney was Bush's puppet, and Kanye is Trump's puppet.
If he don't look good, we don't look good. This is our president. He has to be the freshest, the flyest planes.
He's the professional thirst trap to distract everybody from what really is going on with Trump's presidency, which is a lot. Obviously, we can't get started in all the things that's been going on in Trump's presidency, so we'll just have to leave it at the basics.
Kanye West has always been known for controversy, and if anything, he embraces it, starting with his interruption to Taylor Swift's acceptance speech for Best Female Video in 2009.
Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish, but Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
But in recent events with President Trump, Kanye can't seem to stay out of the headlines by stirring up the pot with his outrageous beliefs. So outrageous that it's almost unbelievable that the self-proclaimed genius would ever say something so crazy.
When you hear about slavery for 400 years, for 400 years, that sounds like a choice.
Could he actually believe his own words? Or is it the chip in his brain? Kanye goes on to say that coming out to support Trump wasn't easy, but he had a feeling in his subconscious that he had to do it.
Well, it was really just my subconscious. It was a feeling I had. I just love Trump. That's my boy.
Interesting to say the least. But to verify our suspicions that Kanye hasn't been thinking for himself, he confirms it in a few tweets. My eyes are now wide open and now realize I've been used to spread messages I don't believe in. I am distancing myself from politics and completely focusing on being creative. I would like to thank my family, loved ones, and community for supporting my actual beliefs and my vision for a better world.
Coincidence? I think not.
Why play the middleman? Why not go straight to the civilians and just chip them instead of getting a celebrity to control the rest of the human population?
It comes back down to brain power. Many of the celebrities that make it into being famous just lack the common sense that most Americans still have. So they know better than to chip the average American because they're just a little bit smarter than most celebrities.
Now that you've heard from our conspiracy expert, don't be afraid to leave any comments down below with any questions, concerns, or theories of your own that you'd like to share with me. Give this video a thumbs up if you want to see more videos like this. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell button if you want to receive notifications for the next time I post. Thank you so much for watching. This was all fun and games. Nothing in this is serious. Or is it? I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.